Ooh, I don't know if you just heard that gurgle, but it was fantastic.
Joke's on you. Not a gurgle. Velociraptor. Fuck off. Are all dinosaurs birds, or are all birds dinosaurs? Because I didn't think all dinosaurs were birds.
I don't know. I thought they were, but maybe now that you're saying that, they're not. You need to ask your kids because they would know. They're the experts on that kind of thing, I would think.
Well, yeah, are they reptiles? Are they birds? Are they both? But look at my little fingers. The skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex next to the skeleton of an ostrich. Just do yourself a favor, okay?
First thing I'm doing, as soon as we're done with the show.
Very interesting.
I'm going on the internet and checking out that vertebrae thing.
This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. I would tell you our names, but perhaps they are going to be changing here shortly. Let me just tell you this. You may want to call me by my new name, and you might have a new name too. King Asshole. You can now call me, if you like, King Asshole. I had my colonoscopy this week. First off, hello. How's it going?
I mean, I'm great, but obviously not as good as you.
K.A. That's me with the colonoscopy. I went for my colonoscopy this week and wasn't that nervous about it, but, you know, somebody's in my butt. I'm not having that happen that often. And to start out, we had a scheduling mishap where they gave me a scheduled time in email, and then they sent the prep sheet, and the time on the prep sheet was an hour later, so I went by that time, and then they called me, and they said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm not supposed to be there yet." They said, "Yes, you are. You're supposed to be here at this time." I said, "No, it's this time." They said, "Oh." I said, "I'll see if I can get my ride to get me there as soon as I can." So then I show up, and everybody in the office, all of them, it's all just Generation Z. And you know me and Generation Z. And I'm like, oh, God, between the time thing and Generation Z, I'm like, what did I get myself into? And I'm going in going, oh, man, now what's going to happen in my butt? And it turns out that these people were the best. The guy that brought me back for getting things started, first thing out of his mouth was, "Sorry about the scheduling mishap. I don't know what happened there, but we're going to look into it and we'll get it figured out." I'm like, okay, cool. He goes, "Either way, we're going to get it figured out and get you in there." And I said, okay, good, because I don't want to have to go through that again. I don't know if you've heard about the prep, but oh my God, I was just blasting off. And I did it 3 years ago, but I forgot just how intense it is. And I don't remember so much pain. I had a lot of pain and I felt like a girl on a very bad period from what I've heard. Just this intense cramping and just gushing everywhere. So they're getting me ready. They're putting me in the gown. They're doing all that. Anesthesiologist walks in. He's an older guy amongst all the Gen Z kids. And I said, "Hey, how's it going?" He was very nice. I said, "Please don't screw this up. I want to live." And he went to somebody else. He goes, "Oh, can you make note of that? He said he wants to live." You got that? Okay. And it was all just very good and fun. And they were jokey and great like that. And then they're getting everything ready and they roll me over on my side. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to happen here. And as they're doing this, they're playing music in the background. I guess they probed to the music and you'll never guess what was playing.
Oh, please surprise me.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, great.
So I said to the room, well, if this is going to happen with Taylor Swift going on, all the better. And we were all just getting along great and having a good time. And then the doctor came in and she said, "Hello, I'm Dr. Huang." And you know how in the movies, the heavens open up and there's a crack and a beam of light shining through and it goes, "Oh," that's what it felt like. That's what happened. And I said, "You're not a doctor, you're an angel." And I didn't say that to her, but I said that in my head. "You're not a doctor, you're an angel." So very attractive and just great and nice and fun and not Generation Z, maybe the generation after, and just very pleasant and explained everything to me. And I thought, I don't know if she's married. Maybe they won't have to put me under. And if they don't put me under, I can feel if she's wearing a wedding ring. Maybe that's the best way to go about it. But they didn't do that. So the guy goes, okay, here we go. And then I'm out. And next thing I know, after having what felt like the best sleep ever, I woke up. I'm like, oh man, I feel refreshed. I wish I could do that every day. And I said that to them. And they said, yeah, but Michael Jackson. I said, I know. Then we went through the report with Dr. Angel telling me what was going on. I had no polyps whatsoever. And I had a little bit of redness in my diverticuli. She said, maybe eat some more fiber, that sort of thing. So now I'm eating a fiber cookie, whatever. But here's the way I look at it. I am king asshole, no polyps. And I think that's because I eat so healthy. And when I had many polyps 3 years ago, I think that was because it was the first time that I'd ever had a colonoscopy. And for the first portion of my life, I'd eaten like nothing but Western bacon cheeseburgers my whole life. And it was probably the buildup of all that crap. Now that I'm healthy, now that I'm king asshole, I have it going on. And I don't have to go back for 5 years, 5 long years. But it's bittersweet because I don't get to see Dr. Angel.
Well, that is a great story. And I'm very glad that you passed.
Very happy. It was like, okay, got nothing bad going on. And I'm still going to try to be healthy because I don't want the polyps. But I thought, how many people do not have polyps? I don't know what the percentage are of polyp people. And I perhaps need to find that out is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, last time I went in, I had polyps and I had some precancerous polyps.
Oh, you were precancerous.
Mm-hmm.
So you should go pretty often, I think, right?
Yeah.
You go, what, every year, every 3 years?
I got to go again soon.
Yeah.
But I haven't made the appointment.
You want me to call and make it for you? I will.
I know you will.
I've got a co-host I very much care about and want her to be healthy. Let's get her in there. Let's get her going. And if you can give her a doctor that is the male version of Dr. Angel, that would be good.
It'd be good. The last time I went, it was really good as well, except I got terrible nurses. Now, they were lovely. They just couldn't put in the needle.
Oh.
You know, the big fat needle. So I've spent some time in the hospital for various reasons. I nearly died once, and so some of my veins have collapsed in my hand. And I said to them, please don't try and put it in my hand or my wrist because those places really hurt and I don't like it. I asked them to go in at my elbow. I said, I've got good veins in my elbow. But no, they ignored me. They tried to go in to my hand. They blew the vein. Then she tried to go in here at my wrist, couldn't figure it out. And I had to say, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to ask you to stop trying. And then...
Because enough of this.
Mm-hmm. And then they brought in the grown-up nurse.
All right.
And I said, please. She's like, why are they going in your hand? I said, it's such a good question. It's a good question and one I've asked. I don't know, but can you please just put it in here? And she's like, yes. I was like, great. And she nailed it within 5 seconds. So I was like, this is just perfect.
Yeah, the guy that did me got it first try, no issues whatsoever. It was great. I think maybe you make an appointment and just fly out here. I'll set you up with my people. And even though I don't know if she was hetero or not, but we can still set you up with Dr. Angel. I think she'll still give you good care, even though you're not a handsome man.
I think she would too. She sounds really, really good. Well, I'm excited. And you make having a colonoscopy sound fun. And it's not scary, right? It's really straightforward. It's great.
The worst part of it, and it's kind of the cliche thing that everybody says, it really is the prep. It's that part of it sucks, but it's the day before, and once you get past it, it's fine. And the big thing is I thought I couldn't have coffee. They told me ahead of time I could have coffee, so I'm like, okay, I cannot eat. That's fine. And having coffee was going to be a problem. She said, oh, you can have coffee. Okay, that's good. I can live and exist then. I'll be okay. And I was, so.
Yeah, it's fine. And especially if it's black coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, piece of cake, because it's technically a clear liquid.
Yeah, and I ended up getting some Propel water just to be safe because I didn't know that when they told me that ahead of time. And that worked. I was caffeinated. And as long as I have my caffeine, I'm okay. So Good stuff.
Propelled water has caffeine?
Yeah, there's some version at least that has it in it. I know that because I searched caffeinated water on Amazon and came up with some.
And of course you did.
Because I can't not have
Desperate
caffeine.
times, desperate men.
I cannot eat, but I can't not have caffeine or however that works out. It's terrible.
Well, that's great. Tell me what it tastes like if you ever get around to actually trying it.
No, I did. I had it rather than the coffee. I said I got some. I might as well.
Oh.
It tastes like very chemicalized, fruity blueberry kind of fake water, like a typical energy drink, I guess. It's not good, but it served its purpose. I wouldn't drink it all the time.
Every time someone says serves its purpose, in my mind, I hear serves its porpoise and see a dolphin. Would you like a cup of tea?
I feel like if I kept drinking it, it would probably give me polyps, and I don't want that. So
No, you want to keep your house clean, as it
Yeah.
would be.
there you go.
Well, that is great. And what a positive endorsement for your chosen lifestyle.
So I'm King Asshole, and I'll do commercials for you. If you ask people, need commercials done, I'll be the guy to do it, and we can go from there. Part 2 of this is that last week I had a thing to talk to you about because I found your new celebrity doppelganger, and then we bickered a little bit, and we didn't get to this. So it came up as I was watching The Bear, your new celebrity doppelganger. Have you watched all of The Bear?
I have watched all of The Bear.
All right. Well, this to me was so close that it was distracting. I was watching The Bear and I said, that's Emily. Look, Emily. How is Emily on The Bear? And it was season 4, episode 7, The Wedding.
The Wedding.
Do you have a guess as to who I'm talking about?
For Francine,
Francie Fack. You look exactly like Francie Fack.
who's played by Brie Larson. Yes.
Yeah, you don't normally look like this person, but you do on The Bear. You don't normally look like Brie Larson, but you look like Brie Larson on The Bear. So
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? That is so weird and distracting. Did you realize it as you were watching or?
I did, actually.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Because I also wear headbands like that, and my hair's the same color and all of that kind of thing. Yeah. It was pretty funny.
Did your husband turn to you and go, oh, that's you on the TV, but in a better accent?
No,
No?
he didn't. But
Okay.
yeah.
So there you go. People kind of know what I look like because I post pictures from time to time, but she looks like Brie Larson on The Bear, just not Brie Larson. And also she's not very difficult to work with like Brie Larson is, I've heard. They all hated her on the Marvel movies, from what I understand. So
I haven't heard that about her, but I loved her in Lessons in Chemistry. Lessons in Chemistry has been one of my favorite shows of all time.
I don't know that one.
Oh, it's so fantastic. She plays a chemist in, I think it's the 1950s. Anyway, it is well worth it. It came out around the same time as The Queen's Gambit. I think you watched The Queen's Gambit. I never got around to watching that, the chess one.
No, I heard good
No.
things about it though.
I heard good things about it, but I never got round to it. Anyway, good.
So I'm thinking we change the name of the show to King Asshole and the Brie Bear. I think
And the
that's what we
Brie
should-
Bear.
And the Brie Bear. That's what we should go with from now on.
Oh,
So
it
much to
is.
go with there.
Yeah, it could just be The Bear.
Sure. And we'd get lots of hits from that, just going with
The
that.
asshole and the bear.
Oh, Asshole and the Bear. Okay. I was thinking we'd just call the show overall The Bear, and probably there would be extra interest in that based on, all the Emmys and stuff.
Interesting promotional strategy.
Yeah. Just name yourself something else. Next week, we're going to be Jeffrey Epstein. So
Look at that horse run.
there you
Wow.
go. Yeah. That whole thing. It's all so corrupt and terrible. What's new with you? What's going on?
Well, I'm officially retired.
Nice.
Oh, so it's so great. Although I am having a little bit of an identity crisis, I realize that there's something wrong with me. My brain always wants to be busy and I want to be doing something. And I've always been busy. And now I'm struggling to go, ooh, what am I going to do? So I started doing crazy shit like looking at opening my own business, which I don't want to do. I'm very specifically, I had my own business and I sold it And then I went and worked for somebody else, and then I retired because I don't want to be doing that.
You were just so busy. Now let's give you a thing that will make you even busier is the way that feels.
Right, it's ridiculous. It's just something in me. And then I was like, oh no, what I'll do instead is I'll buy an investment property, like a short-term rental where, an hour and a half from my house or something, and I'll do it up and and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why am I trying to create more work for myself? There is so much stuff around my house to be done. So I just, gave myself an uppercut. And then for the last couple of days, I've been going around our house, just spring cleaning everything. And I am so happy. There is something incredibly cathartic about being able to catch up on things that I haven't been able to do for 5 years.
Yeah, and a clean house really puts you in a good frame of mind, too. I have noticed that you really get stuff to where it feels good and it smells good, and usually you sleep better, except not for me when I wake up at 5 a.m. And yeah, it's a really good way to go.
Yeah, it's a really good way to go. There's renovations happening in what feels like every house on our street. So the house across the road from us was sold to another set of our neighbors, and it's currently being torn down by giant machinery, literally right now. I knew the garbage trucks wouldn't be here today, and the lawn guys left before the show started, but for some reason, the people to rip the house down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been hearing them.
It's actually been okay today, so way to go, Riverside. We like you. You are such a good service in what you're providing us here today.
Woohoo! Because it's literally picking up bits of house and going boom and throwing it into a giant metal trash can. And I could throw a rock at it. It's that close to my house.
Here's a conspiracy theory, and I get it's conspiracy theory, but I've been so much trouble to that company because they have been so much trouble to me. I think that they must scan transcripts of people's shows and look for people saying Riverside FM, and then they see what they're saying about them, and they see the stuff we say, and then maybe they adjust accordingly, because that horrible thing they did last week is gone, and it just kind of makes sense in my head, and it makes me feel a little bit satisfied. I don't really think it's true, but it's just very odd.
It absolutely could be. Yeah. It absolutely could be.
They could absolutely do that.
They could.
Moving into the week and stuff that has happened, we've had some deaths. First off, Ozzy. I liked Ozzy. Ozzy was such a good guy. And the first two Ozzy records were a couple of the best records ever made. And then here and there, he had a couple other good records, in my opinion. And just not really sharp guy, but a fun guy and good-hearted guy, and did lots of stuff for charity and started reality TV. And I would say that the Osbournes was reality TV before it really sucked. And the world will miss Ozzy, and there's all kinds of tributes and everything going on. Did they have Ozzy in Australia?
I mean, I think he was everywhere.
Okay. I said that kind of being a dick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. Oh, did they have that in Australia?
Yeah, they did.
So good. Then there was Hulk Hogan. Fuck that guy. Fuck everything about that guy. I don't need to mince words. He was just a typical meathead wrestler. Right place at the right time. Total Trump idiot. I'm going to body slam Kamala Harris. Shut up. You're an idiot. Ugh. And now people are saying what a good guy he was because he's dead. And I hate they're a good guy because they're dead now in people's heads, and we should stop that.
Yeah, I don't like how people come out of the woodwork to say how great someone was if they weren't. But I'm sure there were people who thought that he was great, like his family, and he played a character, didn't he? All wrestlers, I'm sure they're not really like that. They're just...
Well, but he was still a total Trump idiot in his personal life. He's really just a sports kid rock is what he was. And all the stuff he was into.
Yeah, so. I don't know much about him, but...
Well, good for you. It's the way to go through life. If you can ever go through life not knowing about Hulk Hogan, consider it a privilege. And then Theo from The Cosby Show, he also died.
Yes. I think, yeah.
It's fine. He was what he was. Good guy, I understand. And he's moved on. And then some flugelhorn player, Chuck Mangione, he's died as well. So they say it comes in threes. I believe it comes in more than threes because probably in the world more than 4 people died this week is what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They don't talk about the non-famous people, do they?
Well, their families do, but we don't on this
Right.
show.
Right.
But feel free to write in if you want us to
If
talk
you want
about.
to tell us about your death, please feel free to let us know. You can write the show or 818-570-0753, 818-570-0753.
Yep, Stu is a great Googleizer.
There you go. South Park this week. That is the big thing in the news. You did kind of a side tongue thing there. You did not like it. We're not happy with it. What did you think?
Well, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's South Park.
Right. It's what you would expect.
Yeah, exactly. It's just what you would expect. Was it one of the best South Park episodes of all time? No.
I think it was just based on the amount of balls it had. I don't know if you know all the facts behind it. First, for anybody listening that doesn't know, it was the premiere episode of South Park this week, and it was beyond a roast for Trump. They're on Comedy Central, which is owned by Paramount. Paramount is that whore company that sold out to Trump, so that gives it extra balls that they did what they did. And the part that I like is that they put this episode out right after signing a $1.6 billion streaming deal with Paramount. So they signed that deal and then said, hey, we're going to put this out and do what we want anyway, where we take shots at Trump and take shots at you. To me, that makes it all the more ballsier and better.
Yeah, I think it's, good on them for doing it. I wish that they didn't just make fun of his physical attributes. I wish they went harder on just how much of a horrible cunt of a person he is.
I think they did that, though. In the end, he ended up suing South Park, the town of South Park, and that was part of his thing. And he's going through the episode saying he's going to sue everybody.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty well done. And the other observation that I had when I started watching it is that I think it's kind of known, but it hasn't really been verbalized. Cartman is this generation's Archie Bunker. And I say this not being a jerk. Did you have All in the Family or see All in the Family when you grew up in Australia? Okay. All in the Family was a great show in the 70s. Norman Lear, who was this great producer, put it on. And for its time, it had really controversial topics and lots of stuff that people weren't willing to tackle. Racism and bigotry. And Archie Bunker, the main character, was just an asshole. But he wasn't without redemption, and he wasn't just a bad person. He was a character that was a horrible bigot, but you still wanted to understand him. And each episode oftentimes had a message, and it opened debate and really pointed out a lot of issues in that culture of the 70s. And nowadays we could not have an All in the Family because people would be too upset by it. So as Cartman was being a real dick in the beginning of it, I'm like, wow, I don't remember Cartman being that much of an asshole. And I go, oh yeah, he was. He was always just that dick kid. And I feel like he is the modern day Archie Bunker, doing all those terrible things. And in that way, they're able to point them out. And that's what Cartman is.
Yeah.
In this, they took huge swipes at Paramount and the thing with 60 Minutes, because people quit 60 Minutes because they were censoring what 60 Minutes was reporting. And there was stuff with Jesus and wokeness and even stuff in the background, the paintings on the walls that make you go, wow. And then the very ending really made me love AI. Trump was walking through the desert and stuff happened. And Paramount was going to force them to blur a particular section with Trump's dick. They were saying to South Park, you need to blur the dick. And they said, no, we're not going to do that. Sorry, we're just not going to. So they put eyes on it. They put little eyes on the dick. And they had it looking around. And then I heard that it was actually Trump's penis, is what I heard. That's what all the people are saying. It was actually Trump's penis. And all the people are talking about that. And it was the greatest fake penis ever. But then it was the real penis. It's what they're saying. And then they put eyes on it. That's what I'm hearing. And it wasn't a very small finger. That's what I'm being told.
How good would it be? How just fucking amazing would it be, right? If he sues them for defamation and they go to court, and then it turns out that is his actual dick, that it's an actual photo of his actual real penis. And then they'll bring the proof. They'll have to bring the full penis pic.
Or if they go to court and the South Park guys say, can Mr. Trump please prove that it wasn't his actual penis, and he drops trow, and then it's even worse. That would be a great outcome too. Like, oh, look at that. Stormy Daniels was right.
It's all messed up.
Yeah, that'll be the next episode, I think, because they're going to have Trump back on. And
Without a doubt.
I feel like they're doing this because there are points that they want to make, and also because they're obviously getting a ton of publicity out of it, and nobody else is stepping up. Their parent corporation didn't have the balls to step up, and I think it's great that they're doing what they're doing because nobody else is.
Yeah, I think it's good that they continue to stick it to the man. I wish they would be a little bit more clever. Like, I remember this sounds really stupid, but remember the fag episode?
No.
Where they're like, fags. And then they think, like, that guy's such a fag. And then everybody thinks that they're being derogatory to homosexuals. And they're like, no, that's terrible. No, we're not. And it just turns out that it's just what they call assholes. And so then they just get the whole town on side around calling people fags who are being terrible and completely decouple it from being a derogatory term for homosexuals. It's really funny and clever and interesting. It had layers and, really challenged the biases that people have and how people make assumptions and how it drives their behavior and all that kind of stuff. I hope that this season has some more of that action.
I just want them to still keep poking the bear. And yeah, if they can do what you're saying too, that would be great as well. Just thinking about this show, and I have done it a lot, and you have stepped up to where you feel comfortable in doing so. Do you even hear anybody else in media talking about how terrible things are in the ways that we are and having the balls to do that? It's not like, wow, look at us. We're huge ball wonders, but nobody is saying the things that needs to be said, I feel like.
Well, because people are being murdered for it.
Yeah. And it makes me paranoid sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've said, wow, maybe I should pull back. But then I also get to the point where it comes up to talk about, and I can't not talk about it. I can't not say the things I need to say because this is the world we're talking about, and there's a lot at stake.
I'm interested to see what happens with the Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. She's asked to get immunity and then to testify in front of Congress. How long do you think it's going to be until she kills herself? What do we think?
That is something to be concerned about. And then there is also the part where if they give her immunity and she testifies and says that Trump is a great guy, or even if they just give her immunity, at that point, even the MAGA base is going to be completely pissed off and probably turn on him. And can they not be considering the fact that if he gives her a pardon, it's going to completely blow back in his face and really be a problem? Isn't that something to be concerned about? You would think, right?
Yeah.
If you're on that end of it and you're a kid fucker and you're trying to work all this out, how do you handle that? And I can't come up with a good way for them to handle that. And that makes me really happy because all the terrible things that guy has done and all the death he has caused in the world, maybe this is the thing that gets him. But I don't want to be too hopeful. We've gone down this road so many times.
I don't think that there is anything. He's untouchable. There's nothing. That I think it is positive, though, that even if what is his name? Is it Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
Right, that guy. So hugely influential and was a huge Trump guy. Even he has started to turn now. And I think that is indicative of the undercurrent and his base, that fringe base, not the hardcore Trump tards. But I think anybody who really believed him when he said he was going to drain the swamp and change things, anybody who genuinely believed that is now starting to go, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Well, and
I think you're full of shit.
good for you, Joe Rogan. Good that you have a conscience now and you're pointing out that, hey, he lied to us. Maybe it would have been good if you did that before the election because he's part of what got Trump elected. He has enough listenership and enough influence that I think that really did help influence the election. And fuck you for being a
Yes.
fair weather fake friend. Just get your stuff together and don't go on the side that you think is going to benefit you, which I really believe he went with Trump because he was going to be good for business and good for him. And who knows what Trump promised him behind the scenes or whatever. But I used to like Joe's stand-up a lot, and he's just not a very smart guy.
It is a little bit meatheady, I think, in some respects. I don't actually listen to his show, so I'm going to withhold any judgment. I see a few shorts sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that. But I did see something the other day that I did agree with, which was him making commentary about how the base is starting to turn away now, given the handling of the Epstein files. Do they exist? Don't they exist? The video, all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, good on him.
Well, he's got to do damage control now because if he doesn't, he looks like an asshole. And yeah, he used to be the show that you listened to for new ideas, but he became the show that you listen to for weird ideas that have no basis in truth. And even the stuff he was involved in with COVID and ivermectin and all that shit that was untested. It just shut up and give me science. Don't give me your meat-headed opinion. I don't want it.
There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah. I did my own research. Okay, well, great. You're better than a doctor, so we'll go with you.
There is this huge biohacking thing where people are like testing on themselves. Who's that guy who is trying to de-age himself?
Oh, yeah, I've heard about him. I forget his name.
Yeah, but he is testing on himself. He has so many people that work for him. He takes hundreds of pills and supplements every morning. His whole life revolves around extending his life.
Yeah.
I look at what he's doing, and his whole life revolves around that. From his waking moment to the time he goes to bed at night, everything is dictated around this, his life's mission. Is that really living?
Well, it's not, except that is his now created career. I think he started investigating this, and it's like, okay, I'm going to do this. And now probably in order to fund this and further this, he's going on talk shows and talking about all of it. And that is his life. And when he drops dead at 65, I think that's going to be pretty funny. Or maybe he's right. You know, I'm talking out of my ass. Maybe he's right. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But I do think that it's no way to live your life. And he has to be so self-absorbed.
Just by virtue of the fact of what he's trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must be absolutely insufferable to be around. Just fucking insufferable. Like the kind of person who you couldn't eat anything around, you couldn't drink anything around, he'd just be pointing out everything. Oh my God, that would be the worst.
Wish I remembered his name because at the very least it's interesting. So.
Yeah.
Comic-Con was this week. Have you heard about Coyote versus Acme?
I'm familiar with the old
Warner Brothers?
but I'm not. No, Coyote versus Acme. Tell me about it.
I'm very excited about this. This is a multi-layer bit, by the way. There's a sub bit coming here, but
because isn't there a movie coming out, Roadrunner versus Coyote?
no, the movie coming out is Coyote versus Acme, and this was revealed at Comic-Con. Warner Brothers was going to release it, but they shelved it because they thought it was more valuable as a tax write-off. They did that with a bunch of movies. They made them and said, oh, we're just going to leave it, and that way we take the hit and we get a tax credit. But people involved said it was actually a really good movie and wanted to get it released, so they revealed this week that it's coming out. And here is the concept. It's live action mixed with animation, and Wile E. Coyote sees a TV ad for a lawyer and hires him to sue the Acme Corporation for damages after putting out dangerous, defective products year after year after year. And that is the concept of the movie. And there's all kinds of people getting on the stand, and they're showing, all these terrible things that have happened to him. And I am so up for that and so ready for that. And I think this could be great.
Oh, I'm genuinely excited. I have heard about it. I'm definitely going to watch it.
Yeah, that is one of the Warner Brothers cartoons way back when. Did you like those? Were you into those as a kid?
Yes.
I was too.
I used to watch those as a child. That was the main thing, Elmer Fudd and the Rooster and all of that kind of stuff.
And then there's the sub bit because somebody was reporting on this. And as much as I loved Generation Z in my last story, with my butt, there's this that I'll bring up. I'll spell this for you. VRSUS. How would you say that?
Versus.
Versus. Not verse?
No.
Okay. Why can't the new generation say versus? Here is a report on Coyote versus Acme, and this is something that demonstrates what I'm talking about here.
This is such brilliant marketing. At Comic-Con, Coyote vs. Acme just took major shots at Warner Brothers. By now, some of you have heard about the live-action Looney Tunes movie, Coyote vs. Acme. It was a movie that Warner Brothers...
They can't say versus. I don't know what it is. I hear it over and over again, and I don't know why I hear it over and over again, but I feel like we should at least be raising a generation of kids that can say versus. It's like their brain, because they're stuck in phones, can't process the sus at the end. They say verse over and over.
Or is it something they don't know? Even the abbreviation of VS is versus.
Right. It is versus. It's not verse, but...
This is such brilliant marketing. At Comic-Con, Coyote vs. Acme just took major shots at Warner Brothers. By now, some of you have heard about the live-action Looney Tunes movie, Coyote vs. Acme. It was a movie that Warner Brothers...
I'm concerned about it, and it bothers me so much, and it shouldn't, but it does.
Well, then probably what you shouldn't do is watch Benedict Cumberbatch try to say penguin.
Oh, I think you brought that up before, and didn't we play something? Didn't we have a part of it? Something like that? You brought it up, and I found it in video.
Mm-hmm. It is absolutely spectacular. It is the weirdest pronunciation, and it changes over time as he narrates a documentary about penguins.
I think I looked this up, and I think I found somebody dissecting this, and I think he admitted to it, if I remember right.
He definitely admits to it.
Yeah.
On every talk show couch, it gets brought up.
Well, and I don't understand how this passes from kid to kid that they all can't say verses. It's very common. I hear it constantly. I'm concerned about your children, Emily. I feel like they're smart, and probably they would know how to say verses, but I feel like all parents should check. It's kind of a progress report for your kid. Can your kid say verses? What do you think?
I agree. It should be a developmental milestone.
Yeah.
My children won't use brain rot slang.
Oh, that's so good. I would get along with your kids, I think.
They refuse.
That's great.
As my youngest son says, I speak English the way I was taught and the way it's supposed to be spoken. And so he doesn't use whatever those words are.
Do they use your little slangy bits here and there? Wobbly jobbly, gibbly goobly. Do they do all that like you do?
Not really, but they do sometimes. So they say things like mate and busted and...
Do they say ahoy? You say ahoy.
I haven't heard them say ahoy. But they do use the slang, and they do use the Australian term for things. For example, we call a trash can a bin. So when we're at home, we say, put it in the bin. And they'll say, go and put this in the bin, or I'm going to go put it in the bin. But then when we're out of the house, they'll say trash can.
Bin is one of those that is not that outlandish that I think you could pick it up. Like even if you went to a Walmart with all of their terrible employees and you said, where's the bin? I feel like they could hopefully figure it out.
Maybe. Oh, here's another example. Rock melon.
Rock melon. That one I don't know.
Cantaloupe.
Rock melon.
Mm-hmm. Capsicum.
Wow.
Capsicum.
Isn't that something in cheese?
No. It's a pepper. Like, the bell pepper.
Oh.
Courgette.
Bouchette.
Courgette.
Isn't that like a French whore? Courgette? I think that's what it is.
That's courgette. No,
Okay.
it's zucchini.
Wow. And are these real names or just names that you have over there?
No, these real names. These are what these things are called. Coriander,
Coriander is like a spice, kind of, right?
cilantro.
Coriander and cilantro were the same?
Correct.
No.
100%.
No.
Yes, sir.
Am I this many days dumb? Hang on.
I shit thee not.
Hey, Siri, what is it, coriander and what?
Here's some info about coriander.
Hang on. Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Hey, Siri, are coriander and cilantro the same thing?
Here's an answer from healthline.com.
It says come from the same plant. Cilantro refers to leaves and stalk. Coriander refers to the seeds. Okay, so they are, but they're different parts. But I never knew that either.
But in the United States, the seeds are called coriander and the leaves are called the other. In Australia, it's all called the same.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a goddamn educational show.
Yeah. So we just call things different things at home.
Well, would you like to go check with your kids? Just say, how do you say VERSUS? Can you go do that?
They're down in the basement and they've been threatened with death if they make noise today. So how about I do this? How about I record a little bit on my phone?
Okay.
And send it to you.
Well, we'll do that next week. We'll have the answer to the thing. Because I feel like, and I'm not just trying to kiss your ass, I feel like your kids a lot of times are better than normal kids. And if they can at least hold up the versus part of things, I'll feel a little bit better about the generations to come.
I have 4 children in my house right now. 2 are my sons and I've got 2 friends. So I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to ask all 4 of them to try and say it.
You're going to exploit other people's children. This will be great. And then also ask them why in every YouTube video they need to say without further ado and say guys and guys and guys over and over again. Ask
and
them
smash,
why that's...
And smash the like button.
Smash the like button. Smash the bell. Smash the like button, guys. Without further ado, let's start the video. If you could have a drinking game and just drink every time one of those things happened...
You would be fucking dead.
You'd be on the goddamn floor. Absolutely.
You'd be dead. Yeah, don't do that. You will die.
So there's that part of things, and something really to look forward to next week. Update on the duck terrorizing Florida.
How is that duckwit?
Turns out they got him. They got him like they took out Bin Laden. They went in there with snipers under cover of night, as I understand it, and they got their goddamn duck.
Aww.
A Muscovy duck that was terrorizing one neighborhood is now headed to its new home. I'm Cape Coral community correspondent Bella Line, and after seeing my reporting, an animal sanctuary contacted me, and now this Muscovy duck named Jimmy is headed to Ocala.
Okay, they're calling him Jimmy. I have a problem with that. The way this duck has been terrorizing society there, I think they need to call him something like Ravenger. And we're searching for the Ravenger, not Jimmy.
Rumpelstiltskin.
That's it, yeah. And Rumpelstiltskin, the Ravenger, is out, and I can't walk my dog because he attacks me and my dog.
So snaps a lot.
Even better. Or Bodie McBoatface.
Mother Ducker.
I like that one too.
When you said they took him out like Bin Laden, I thought they sniped him. I thought they killed him for sure. But then he's off to go to a wildlife sanctuary. That's way better.
Yeah, well, they got him at least. Here's the story, the very important story on the duck terrorizing Florida.
You may have seen this video on social media. Well, after it blew up, Mark Quadrosi with Remarkable Rescues in Ocala reached out to me.
Mark is like a mafia guy. I feel like they called the mafia in to deal with the duck. You'll see when he talks.
He says he was going to help this neighborhood with its unwanted neighbor and take the naughty duck up to an animal sanctuary.
You're just kind of at the mercy of what they're going to do that day, even if somebody knows a particular animal's schedule from their observations each day.
And after more...
You've got to talk to the duck, and you've got to threaten the duck. Hey, we'll give you some cement shoes if you don't stop walking around knifing people.
Even if you know the duck's schedule. If you know the duck's schedule, you know where he's going to be, what he's going to be wearing, what he's going to be doing at that time.
It would be very terrible if your house caught on fire with this duck around, wouldn't it? How about you give me $50 and we'll watch your house overnight?
For some protection from the duck. He literally reached out to offer protection from the duck.
That's like duck extortion.
I love this guy.
Hour of looking for the duck.
He's getting down in gutters and he's just all over the place. And then they found the Ravenger or Jimmy.
Found
How hard can this thing be to fucking find? Isn't it out there trying to literally take people down? Just walk around. This thing's like Chuck Norris. You don't find the duck finds you.
Well, and it's funny that you say that because as they walk up on Jimmy, he's just sitting there right on somebody's front doorstep.
He's waiting for the person in the house.
Yeah. He's like,
He's
hey,
got beef with the guy in the house.
trick or treat, either give me some crackers or we're going to have a problem when you come out, one of the two.
What people haven't mentioned is that Jimmy actually runs the illegal gambling ring in the area.
He's collecting for the numbers.
He's collecting for the numbers. These people owe Jimmy, and they've gotten behind. He gave them a warning.
Perhaps Jimmy the Duck and this guy are secretly in cahoots working with each other, and they've got a big scam going on where now this guy comes out and gets paid to protect the neighborhood based on Jimmy terrorizing the neighborhood.
New business idea.
I hurt myself there.
Okay. Hold on.
Whenever you say new business idea.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
What we do is we get geese because they're way scarier. We trim their wings, just really fucking angry geese, right? We take them to a nice neighborhood with a pond and release them in the children's playground at night. Okay?
Do they have knives? I'd like to know that first off.
Not to start with,
Okay.
but they have knives for teeth. Have you seen geese have little serrated teeth? They're awful. Anyway, so as the geese start to terrorize the neighbors, you can just come riding through on your bike and be like, "Oh, I know a guy who deals with geese," and then we're the guys that deal with geese. He'll get rid of these geese for $50,
There you go.
and then we just do that every day, twice a day. Just the people will be terrified of the geese. They'll be just biting people all over the place. So we plant the geese and then we mediate the geese.
Define mediate. We're just collecting the geese, putting them in cages to be used again.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes good business sense. I'm just checking.
No, we're not going to kill them in public.
All right.
We're going to go and pick them up and move them to our next customers. Right? Who's with me?
I like this so much.
Yeah. Brilliant. Here's another business idea. This is actually a good one. Don't steal it because I'm thinking about doing it. Is
Because you need another job.
right? I do need another job. But what I need more than a job is lots of goats. Okay?
Goats.
Yep.
To eat away fire brush?
Yep.
Ah, that's very good. Very thoughtful. You would make a mint out here in California.
Right. And so just have a small army of cute little goats, and you just also have a lot of electric fence because that is mandatory with goats because they are pricks and they will get into everything. And then you just release them for a couple of days. No pesticides. It's good for the environment, and they literally eat everything in their path, just as nature intended. They're like the termites of mammals. Just
Yeah, and I don't know if you know, but all kinds of news reports have happened out here. And in the news everywhere, they're talking about we need to get goats to perhaps eat away the mountainside so that we don't have fire issues in California. And it would be perfect for out here.
Man, no, I haven't. This was just a crazy idea that I woke up with this morning, which was largely driven by the fact that my children want goats, and I was trying to think of a way that I could justifiably get a goat. And I don't know if I sent you the photo. Did I send you the photo of my kids with the goats?
No. We're trying to get it focused. It looks almost like a dog. Oh, there we go. The goat's like, I'm in love. Take
It's a
me.
tiny little baby goat. And so they did this junior farmer summer camp, and they got to meet a bunch of little goats, and this tiny orphan goat that they called Jimmy attached to them. And so they would go to the field and call out, Jimmy! And this little baby goat would just come running. Meh, meh, meh.
I like
Just
the
chase
fact
after
that
them.
that happened, but I think they needed to call him Ravenger.
Well, he was very sweet. And I think that if I did have a goat business, it would be fun because I could give them all amazing names. And we could have Goat of the Week.
Like it, kind of like Employee of the Month, definitely.
Exactly. Or Goat of the Month.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Scruffles ate an entire mountainside on his own. He is this week's employee.
Yep, exactly. Ate all these stinging nettles. Yeah.
Now,
perfect.
would you locate the goats regionally, or would you travel with them? Would you purchase a bunch and then, kind of travel across the country as needed? Because that might be a good way to retire, too. Go traveling around the world with your goats and eating away mountainsides. I could do that.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. And you don't need anything too big. You just need a horse trailer. But it depends how many goats I'd want. I don't want too many goats because what happens if we don't have anywhere for the goats that week and they've got to hang out at our place? Could you imagine how amazing that would be? Just rocking up to an RV park with 30 goats.
All you do is you let them loose in the trash. You just go, okay, they're going to get the things people don't want. And you could maybe charge the RV parks. We'll get rid of a lot of your trash. Here are my goats.
Here are my goats. I don't know if I would travel vast distances with the goats.
Right.
I think it would be traumatic for them. I don't think 12 hours in a trailer is super great for goats, although they do it for horses. So
Yeah, and as far as I'm thinking about it, why couldn't you just have the goats drive?
I mean, they'd probably drive better than me, so not a bad idea.
Robot cars, put the goat in the wheel so that the robot thinks there's somebody in the wheel, and then you just drive on out to California where they're going to pay you lots of money for use of your goats.
Yeah, don't worry about trailers. I'm going to get a fleet of Teslas. Just fill up the Teslas with goats and just send them on their way.
Now, do we go Cybertruck with this? Because you could put the goats, one in the wheel and then 3 or 4 probably in the back of the Cybertruck.
Could you imagine? Okay, so lots of people near where I live are buying Cybertrucks for business, which will pretty much guarantee that I'll never buy anything from them. But
Yeah.
a fleet of Cybertrucks just all wrapped in whatever brand of, goat landscaping or whatever it is.
I can picture it in my brain.
And could you imagine how crazy that would be just to pop the trunk and 20 goats come out of a Cybertruck?
Be like a clown car, but with goats.
Yeah, like a clown car but with goats. Amazing.
And again, this is going back to something I believe we've discussed, but especially now, if somebody is buying a Cybertruck, it really demonstrates what a particular brand of asshole they are at this point. Because they're saying, yes, I know this is a bad idea, but I am so committed to it and so committed to supporting Elon Musk that this is the way I'm willing to go and I'm willing to show it to the world.
Yeah, it's
Like
a
you're right.
whole
I would
new
never
thing.
buy anything from that person. And they drive by and I go, there's an asshole right there.
Yeah, massive asshole.
All right. Well, this has been a wonderful round of yes and. Let's get back to our duck story here.
Quack, quack.
Each day.
And after more than an hour of looking for the duck, we found him.
This is a young male. It is? Yes, and that's why he's being such a punk.
Quadrosi
He's
says
being a punk.
he's about 3 to 4 months old. And more than likely, he was hand-raised.
When you have a duck that wants to actually make physical contact with a person like that, but in a way with its beak, that's more of a social thing. It's kind of a given that it was hand-raised by somebody.
What about when a duck has a knife like this one did? We'll talk to the guy coming up.
Rosie says the reason people like James Sepulveda were seeing injuries from the bird is because male Muscovy ducks aren't as gentle as the females.
Finally, we got it.
But Rosie says the Muscovy duck they have now named Jimmy will be headed to Ocala
Ravenger.
to live with him and other Muscovy ducks at the animal sanctuary.
And remember the guy that got knifed last time? The guy that was walking around with his eyes closed and all of a sudden he was bleeding?
Yes, I do. And is that going to go on his tombstone? Because I feel like there is nothing more embarrassing than being a grown man who was been mauled by a duck.
He's known for it, and he's stepping back up because they're interviewing him again. He's very proud that he got attacked by the duck. I would be kind of embarrassed, and I wouldn't say I was walking around with my eyes closed. I still don't understand that part of it.
No.
But I'm happy they're getting rid of these ducks in the area because they are vicious. Thanks to Bella Line from Fox News, we are getting some action.
Reporting in Cape Coral,
Mission complete.
Goodbye.
I'm Bella Line, Fox 4.
And her name is Bella Vine, I think it is. It sounds like Bella Wine, which is something that you would drink, but...
Well, best of luck, Jimmy. Godspeed.
There you go.
Also,
Yeah.
public service announcement here. Don't fucking buy ducklings because they're cute and then raise them and then go and release them in a public park.
Yeah, it's like anybody
Baby,
that
yeah,
does
like
that with a pet.
anything.
Yeah.
It's baby animals grow up into big animals.
I don't care if it's a dog or an alligator. Don't be an idiot and know that you can take care of a pet when you get it. And if you're thinking of an alligator as a pet, you're an asshole. Know that.
Definitely.
I don't know that there's that much more to cover in this, but before we go, we didn't get to it last week, but the Coldplay concert thing, what are your thoughts on that really quick? It's kind of done at this point, but Jesus Christ.
So, it's a big story, and this has had way more airtime than I ever anticipated. One, I have zero fucking sympathy for the pair of them. They're in a public place having an affair. Get fucked. Yeah. Whatever happens, happens. If you felt comfortable doing that, you obviously didn't mind the fact that people were seeing you, and you got what you deserved.
Consequences for your idiocy.
Exactly. Who I do feel really sorry for, though, are their families.
Yep.
Their sons, their daughters, their wives, their husband. Those people didn't choose to become public figures. They didn't choose to be publicly embarrassed. It's bad enough being cheated on and humiliated, but then to have that all play out and probably people you know finding out before you did. Could you imagine that, waking up and having all of your mates sending you that video?
You're at the center of that, and then everybody is like checking and going, hey, how you doing? Because they know and you know they know, and that would just be the worst.
It would be the absolute worst. And then I feel sorry for them and the relationship between their kids. Their kids are going to hate them.
Yep.
For ruining their family.
Cheaters suck. F that guy. If you're a cheater, you're a coward. Just get out of the relationship if it's not working, and don't pal around with your HR woman in a public place and have an affair. You suck for doing that.
Yes, absolutely. And he should be fired.
Yeah. He's a bad representative of the company.
Well, not only that, but he is in a position of power. She is in his direct reporting line. Whether it is consensual or not, he has power over whether she gets to keep her job or not.
Right.
So if for any reason she wanted the affair to end or any of that kind of stuff, who knows if she felt pressured.
Yeah. And even if there's nothing that goes bad, there's a perception perhaps of things going bad, and you try to avoid that. And yes, I've had to do module after module in my corporate entity position, and it's just ridiculous. And it's weird to me that he resigned a week before she had to. Like, in my mind, they would be very close just by virtue of the fact that she works in HR. Like, you work in HR and you're doing that shit, and then you're going to wait it out to see if you can not get fired or have to leave your job. That was weird to me, the HR part of it.
And she didn't just work in HR. She's a chief people officer.
Yeah.
She's a C-level executive. It is absolutely diabolical. And if they wanted to have an affair and this was a relationship and they were going to do that, just morality aside, she should have left and got another job, or he should have left and got another job, because not only is it terrible morally, it's bad decision making. So that guy, he will never get another job as a CEO. One, he has a history of poor decision making. He obviously is deceptive and lies and cheats. And there have been studies around the correlation between people who have affairs and people who lie, cheat, and steal in business, and they're 30% more likely to do it.
It says something about them as a person. That's the bottom line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no one's ever going to put him in charge of anything ever again.
Yeah. And then the last part of the story is that lately the rumor is, and I think he's even postured, that he is going to sue Coldplay because he didn't agree to be videotaped there, and blah, 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 and Coldplay shouldn't have done this to him. And you're in a public place, and guaranteed there is something on that ticket that says you give up your rights and you could be videotaped, and we, the venue, and we, the entertainment entity, are covering our ass. So please go ahead and sue and make more of a spectacle out of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No one would take that case. If you've ever bought tickets through Ticketek, which I have, you sign away your firstborn child, essentially. So you're not
usually
getting
it says
shit
it's
from shit.
rain or shine. We don't even have to pay you back if the show doesn't go on, and screw you, and you have no rights, and there's going to be cameras and whatever. It is usually
And then
the
you
way it
walk
reads.
into the venues and there's always those signs, especially those big arena shows. That's like live taping in progress, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah. You shouldn't
wouldn't
expect
possibly.
privacy in public ever. That's the way things are nowadays. So
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous. Anyway, he sucks shit.
suck shit. Don't be a bad person. There you have it. And there you have a show.
Meh, it's a show.
It's been a delight. We've worked it out. We've created a new business, and I like to do that weekly. One of these days, we'll be rich from doing it.
Yeah, we will. Maybe I can get a boat.
For
Be
your
goats on a boat.
I've motherfucking had it with these motherfucking goats on a plane.
Could you imagine?
Be great. That'll be the sequel. Anyway, everybody have a great week.
Enjoy.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.
And the last thing you might expect to see here is penguins. These are Fiordland crested penguins, named after this corner of South New Zealand. So why are these woodlands so attractive to penguins? A freshwater stream through the forest makes a handy highway for a parent penguin heading home from a fishing trip.